Hello, welcome to Focus on Fantasy Romance, episode number 58, a podcast where we discuss books, genre, industry, and our geeky lives. I'm your host, Elle Klaus.
I'm ARD Clerk.
I'm Paulina Woods.
Electric Gatus.
And Isabel might be frozen. So today we have Emma Alisyn. Say hi.
Hi.
So why don't we start with some basics? Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about what you write?
Well, I'm Emma. I'm a mom of four, and I write what I call fiercely real romance, which is basically paranormal romance, science fiction romance, and I'm going into urban fantasy for gals over the age of 30. No virgins allowed.
Okay, well, that's amazing that you managed to do this and have 4 children. I have 2, and it's hard. So, excuse me. You had mentioned before we started recording that you have a new release out called By the Skin of Your Teeth. Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
It's called Stone Prince, but it is getting out by the skin of my teeth.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
No, it's on pre-order. And that pre-order deadline is the 26th, and my characters keep talking, so you know how that goes. But it is the third in a kind of futuristic paranormal gargoyle romance trilogy, featuring lots of court politics, assassinations, bombs, lots of bombs, and all kinds of other shenanigans.
So you said it was Gargoyle Shifters?
Yeah, Gargoyle Shifters.
How did you get into writing Gargoyle Shifters?
I watched a movie about a year ago. I forget the name of the movie, but it came out in the last 5 years. It was about gargoyles. The female heroine was that chick from Lord of the Rings, the long blonde girl. And I'm like, this is kind of awesome. And I did angels in space, and I've seen people do angels and demons and other shifters with wings. I'm like, why not do gargoyles? They're just hot guys with wings. Why not?
Paulina suggested I, Frankenstein. Is that the right one?
Yes, that. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. I like that
don't know
movie.
how you get gargoyles from Frankenstein, but okay.
Well, they're all, like, when you get into the horror genre, they're all kind of lumped together with vampires, gargoyles, Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, and they like tied angels and things into it too. So it was really interesting how they did it. The movie didn't get very good reviews, but I liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
So how long have you been writing?
Since the end of 2015. So what, that makes it almost 3 years now, I think. I started out in erotica. And, Goodreads never forgets, so some of those covers are still out there.
Goodreads is kind of a no man's land. You don't have any control over it because people can add whatever they want, even stuff you actually didn't write. Amy?
Okay, yeah, it's my turn. Okay, so hi, Emma.
Hi.
Who is your ideal audience?
I prefer gals over 30, working gals. I used to read YA new adult and the speculative fiction geared towards younger women, with the young, spunky, virginal heroine, or maybe not quite so virginal. And as I'm getting older, I'm 36 now. You deal with shit, kids, teenagers, husband, bills. You're like, do I really want to keep reading about virgins and debutantes? So I kind of stumbled onto the audience because I started gearing my heroines for an older, making them older, a little more mature, a little less ingenue-ish. And I started getting reader feedback like, yeah, we want older women. I even have a Bear Shifter romance with a grandmother in it. Hot grandma, but she's a grandma. With a younger man, and I got feedback from that, and I'm like, that's my audience. That's who I'm writing for. So yeah, probably.
So tell us, if we were going to pick up any of your books, is there a common theme or a common message that we get from your writing?
My theme is women with problems who are actively solving them. They're not really waiting for the man to come around and save him, but when he does come around, he's a partner. So I don't do the man hating. I don't do alpha holes, although some of my readers, you know, might say some of my alphas are a little like that, but I think I just like edgy guys. But I'm really big into partnership and having romances where both people are equal. They have skills that complement each other. And maybe he needs saving in some areas and she needs saving in some areas, you know, kind of like real life works. You know, I don't know any husband who's came and, well, at least not mine, but.
Are there any genres that you're interested in branching out into that you haven't tried yet?
Interesting. Well, I just branched out into a sub niche of Regency romance. And I started a new pen name on that, and it's going well. I think it's going well. But I'm starting to, for a long time, I was just, you know, do everything under one pen name, keep your whole catalog there. But the latest snafu with Amazon, I'm starting to see the wisdom of, you know, diversification. So, but that, and then I'm steering my P&R more towards urban fantasy because I tend to be a more natural urban fantasy writer because I tend to skip all the sex and then go and add it in revisions. So I'm like, okay, maybe you should just do urban fantasy.
Right. I completely understand that. I'm trying to do more maybe steampunk mystery with romantic elements as opposed to romance. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, Paulina, it's your turn.
Don't be yelling at me. I can see the screen. I just can't keep staring at it. My eyes hurt. Anyways, yay, return. So, one of the big things that's kind of jumping around in the book world right now that I'm really interested in is, are you planning on writing any reverse harem stories at all?
No.
Gonna stay away from it?
No, not at all. No. For one thing, it's too crowded. It's a trend I don't want to chase. And two, even though someone suggested millennial women like this, my subgroup 30 and up, we're monogamous. And women at their nature are monogamous. I firmly believe that, even if you say it's old-fashioned. So I don't, even though I think reverse harem is something that'll be around, I don't think it has that big of an audience that I want to try to chase that and compete. I'd rather just do me. So
okay. No. I find it interesting. I've always, I don't know where the name, I mean, I know where the name came from, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, the girls are going to laugh. I read a lot. And honestly, I've been reading it for years, but they haven't put a name on it, you know?
Well,
so,
Laurel K. Hamilton started it. Remember the Anita Blake series?
Yeah, but they didn't name it that, and I think it's funny.
No, they didn't. But yeah, it was that, because as soon as I heard the term reverse harem, I'm like, oh shit, that's what I was reading in high school.
Like all of a sudden, there's a name, and I'm like, wait, girls, but we've been doing this for years.
I know, right? Right.
I was like, technically, if it's more than one male, it's considered one. I'm like, wait, so I wrote one already, but I don't consider it that. I just whatever. All right. I was just wondering. So with how many kids you say you have? 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
4 kids. So what do you find to do for fun? Like, do you find time?
I do not understand this word.
Like,
I do not compute.
Nature walks.
Listen, my idea of fun is having wine while I'm doing my words. And then having wine before I read my research novel of the night and go to sleep. And then making my teenager cook instead of me. That's my idea of fun.
Well, as long as you have fun, I get. Wait, yeah. half of this ends with wine.
I know. Yeah. why we know I've been doing this for 2-3 years. Come on, we're all closet drunks dealing with Amazon.
Yeah,
Dude.
every weekend I go buy a bottle and, you know, sit here and be like, yes.
Find me a romance writer who says they don't drink and I'll find you a liar.
It's either alcohol or coffee.
Yeah.
Either one is still a drug.
Exactly.
We do either or. Since we both do gargoyles, do you keep with the kind of guardian fantasy part of it? Like that they were like the stone part, or kind of differentiate from it?
They don't turn into stone, but they're the way I did it was they're suppressed into human form during the day and they sleep and rest during the day. And then at night they come into their gargoyle form, big bat wings, beautiful gray skin, dark hair, dark eyes, bigger, stronger, that sort of thing, but no turning into stone. And then my trilogy focuses on 3 siblings in a royal family in Seattle. And so the 3rd book is the middle sibling, the middle brother. We started off with the first 2 who are technically not related, but appear to be related. That's how I snuck in some step sibling pseudo stuff. Snuck it past the Zon. So
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you can't look at the covers or the descriptions and think it's pseudo porn. So, I mean, it's clearly fantasy romance of some kind, but still.
Well, they're on my Kindle, which means that they'll probably be read in really fast. Again, I read, yeah. My eyes have to rest because apparently I read too fast. But yeah, so you said they suppressed. Do the females know both forms?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the heroine of my 3rd book I'm working on now, she's half gargoyle, half fae, but she does shift into her gargoyle form. So gray skin and all. Okay. I kind of have this fascination with ugly pretty going on. I want to do harpies next.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, and not pretty harpies. I'm talking about when you in your harpy form, girl, you's a harpy. You dead ugly, but he loved you anyway.
Gina Showalter did one.
Was Gina Showalter? Really?
Yeah, she did. Like on her dark series. One of the sisters. I mean, 3 of the sisters, I believe, are harpies, and they're actually they're not kind harpies either. You're like, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go check that out. I stopped reading a while ago, but I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, I missed her last 3 books, but
wench, taking my harpies.
Yes. And you know who did gargoyles was oh god, Mary J. Lou, I believe her name is. She's the one, like I always loved gargoyles, but she's the first one I ever read where the gargoyles were gargoyles. They had the craggy faces, the wings, the skin, and the women still. And I was like, oh my god, you can have that.
Yeah. I thought about doing that, and I was like, you might need to ease your readers into thinking gargoyles are sexy. So, you know, no bad skin days.
I didn't ease them in. Mine don't shift to human, so yeah, it's fun. You just got to kind of figure out, okay, they have 4 wings. Where does that go? Where's the tail doing?
Oh, I forgot about tails. Oh, shit.
Don't worry.
They don't have tails. I completely forgot about that. They have talons, black talons, but I forgot about the tail thing. Oh, you could do freaky stuff with that tail.
Not all gargoyles have tails, but with large bodies to kind of compensate.
Steering power, gotcha.
And then when you're writing, which comes first, your story or your title?
I usually have a working title, and then as I get into the story. No, actually the best place I think to draw a title from is your actual story, because you'll write phrases or words or bits of dialogue that are naturally snappy, and then there's your title.
Okay. So most of your titles came from that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. You said you like older females, which means that they come with baggage. Do you do fated mates, or is it more the traditional fall in love and then
I started out with fated mates, and I have trouble with that trope because it's like, really? Yeah. it's kind of like the whole traditional he loves her at first sight because she's hot thing. It's like, is there anything more than that? So when I do my fated mates now, I try to be careful to weave in some type of motivation outside of that, which comes in, you know, the plotting pre-production phase. Like with my current gargoyle, she's actually trying to kill him. She's an assassin sent to kill him, but they kind of knew each other when they were teenagers. So there's that seed there. So when he sees her again, there's a reason for snap, you know, the attraction to happen. So the book could get done in a week.
Hey, sometimes you need that.
Yeah, right.
Because the reason I asked that question is I just read a series this week, and last night one of the books actually touched on that, where all the other books were fated mates, and all of a sudden the one girl, they're not fated mates, and one of the girls asked her, well, are you going to wait for your fated? And she says, why? Is old-fashioned love enough anymore? And it was something I kind of stopped and went, wait a minute. This author asked a very important question. I don't know if they meant to, or, you know, if they just got tired of fated mates in their series, but it was an interesting question that I think a lot of readers are kind of starting to ask now.
Yeah.
Is love enough anymore, or do we all have to find someone who fated? Because honestly, I'd rather fight my way to love than find a guy who goes, you're mine. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry.
I think the attraction of fated mates, especially, well, when you're younger, it's the romance of it. But when you're older, it's because shit, you know, if there ain't something forcing him to stay with you, then I wanted 3 marriages.
Yeah, you're like, sir, you left your underwear on the floor. Pick that shit up. But you're my favorite bitch. Pick that shit up.
Yeah, so I think the fated mates is like that subconscious thing of, oh, he can't leave her no matter what anyway. So it's like the forced happily ever after. But at the same time, it's like, do you like me for me? I mean, so.
I think you're right, though, as we get older, because now that I'm older and I read those books, I'm just like sitting there rolling my eyes half the time. Like, really?
Exactly.
Some barbarian comes to my house and say, you belong to me. I'll be like, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh, don't get me started on the kidnapping trope. Oh, my God. Okay.
I read a whole series on it, and the author was good. Well, one series I didn't even finish. I was like, I'm not reading this. It's fucking stupid. I read one book and went, but the other books I read, it was good because the first book, she was able to change the mind of the prince that did it, and they were able to change the series. They were able to change slowly the mind of the people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like it was a little bit more. The rest of the books in that series weren't so. I'm gonna kidnap you in your mind and deal with it. The first one I was like, oh my. Then the second one I was like, okay, now they're changing the mind of the people. So I can see that, but yeah, what is up with that? Who wants to get kidnapped and taken to another world and sit there and have to deal with it? And
then you don't even give your heroine any trauma. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm like, that guy would be missing some balls. He would wake up and be like, where's my balls? I'd be like, in your face.
She conveniently has no family, no job, no children, no relationship. So yeah, you could kidnap her, no biggie, right? Like, okay.
But again, you notice that all of them are young.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't get away with that shit on someone over 30, 35.
Again, he'll be laying there waking up going, I'm like, take me home.
I'm like, shoot.
Apparently I'm no use to you anymore. You go, we're not going to kidnap you, Electra, but you can ask your questions.
I'm actually going to let Ish go, but I'll tell you what, you can kidnap me just for a day. I would be totally happy, and then just send me back home so I can take care of my kids. But yes, just you can kidnap me for a day. I'm okay with that.
I was going to say, on the fated mate aspect, I think when it first started out and it was brand new, there was a magical element to it. It was, oh my God, they're fated to be together. You know, it was, you know, by rhyme, reason, universe, whatever. And then I think what happened is everybody jumped on board to that fated mate, and it kind of lost its magical appeal. You know, it became, oh God, instant attraction again. Before it was, like I said, it was a magical, we're fated to be together. And she was like, oh my God, no, we're not. You're stupid. You know, she fought it. But now she's like, oh, what? You're my fated mate? Oh my God. So I think that's where fated mate took a wrong turn, in my opinion. is it lost the magic? That was it.
All right, I'm up next. Seems. You sure you don't have anything else, Ish?
I'm just surprised she talked.
I know. I don't want to take it away. So I've actually read a couple of your books in the Warrior Mated series. Is it the Yadeshi?
Yadeshi? Yeah,
Yadeshi.
Yadeshi. Okay. I can't pronounce it either.
And one of the things that I really liked in each of the, I think I read the three because there's only three, right? Unless another one come up and I haven't seen it. Okay. What I liked best about your heroes is they felt real to me in the sense that I believe a couple of them were single moms going through, you know, what single moms do, being either left alone, you know what I mean, like no dad or, you know what I mean, just that, like I said, the whole single moms. And I really liked that as a reader, just because I could totally connect with that character in the way of, you know, living with a single, you know, having a single mom myself. So I just thought it was very interesting that you say that you, like, your heroes have problems, your heroines have problems. And is there anything on a personal level that's, you know, kind of how you came up with those ideas for troubled women, or was it just being a woman and just kind of hearing, you know, everything online or through media and so forth to make that connection?
Yeah, well, I've been a divorced mom myself. This is actually my marriage. So before this marriage, I was a divorced mom of 3 children, and the 3 children in Warriors Bond were actually patterned after my 3 eldest. So not 100%, but I thought it was fun to, or rather, as I wrote the story, I realized that the personalities of my children really fit the personalities of the characters too. Sometimes that happens. The daughter and the son, and the way they interplayed and how their personalities kind of help determine the plot line of the story. And yeah, that's kind of one of my pet peeves. We don't see a lot of single moms in speculative fiction, and if you do see them, it's like the kids are nowhere around. It's like, yeah, if you're a single mom, the kids are there. You can't just put them off screen somewhere. I have another single mom romance. She has a daughter. She's a divorced mom. That's my second gargoyle book, Stone Guard. And her daughter is there. And if her daughter's not there, you know, I made sure as the narrator to give, you know, a brief explanation where the child was. Because any single mom who reads that and there's no mention of where the child is, it's like, yeah, I don't think so.
Right. No, absolutely. I think that it was for me, it was, like I said, I connected very well with it because I was like, yes, oh my gosh, kids are going to do stupid things that are going to get them in trouble. So, you know, and mom has got to be the one to take care of it. So I really did like that series. And so do you have plans to do a 4th book?
Yeah, I'm actually, because of some read reviews about book 1 saying they felt it was too short, I'm actually adding another 10,000 words with the 2 main characters on his home planet. So kind of showing what happened after they got to his planet. They're on his farm. So I'm adding that. Then I'm going to release it into a trilogy set. Okay. And then do another 3 books. With that world, because I do kind of like the concept of that world. I think I didn't really explore it enough in the first 3.
Yeah, it's a tier system, if I remember correctly. Isn't that right? It's like a tier system where, you know, they still have, I don't know.
Yeah, on Earth.
Yes, on Earth, it's a tier system, which I thought was very interesting. And I liked how you had kind of explain that part, but definitely would like to see, you know, a little bit more outside Earth and the other worlds that would come with that. Definitely.
Yeah, that's the feedback I got from readers, that they missed the off-planet on alien planet aspect. And you get a little bit, you got more of that in book 3. So I wrote that after I'd gotten the feed book for book 1 and 2. So book 3 is double the length, plus you get some space adventure, and then you get to his planet and get to see their actual home planet culture some. So, you know, as you write, you get feedback, you start to kind of learn what the readers want, and then you adjust. They don't seem to understand that that's the process. Like if you read my book from 2015, it's not going to be the same as my book from 2018. Yo, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
God. Don't make any more comments about how badly I need an editor. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think we all can relate to that. And since you kind of dabble in like a little bit of everything, what is your favorite genre to write?
I don't think I have a favorite genre. I think it's more about the problems and the couples. But I am a more natural urban fantasy writer because that's what I tend to read more than anything else, is urban fantasy. So yeah, that's probably where, if I had to define one, I would stick my hat.
All right. That's not a bad choice at all. One of my favorites. So I can like that. Next to science fiction. I don't know. They're kind of like right there for me. I just love the world building in science fiction, but with urban fantasy, I kind of like that as well. So is there anything else you want our readers or viewers to know about you or anything?
Just that my books try to feature real women with real problems, no asshole alphas, and I try to keep it realistic, and I try to give, you know, the hero and the heroine a reason to fall in love, and there's a pace to the romance, so you're not going to skip any of the steps. So if you really like to see your characters go through the steps of falling in love and developing a relationship, even if they're quote unquote fated, I try to give you that in each book. I try to pay attention to that.
In Fated Mates, I think there needs to be discovery. I mean, it's just not like kind of like a rollover, you know, type thing where, oh, we're fated to be together, and now I just have to roll over and just, you know, just be in love. It's like I just think there has to be a discovery and has to be tension and has to be a little bit of fighting, a little bit, you know, just kind of because that's two personalities coming together. There's got to be some type of a clash. So I don't know, that's what I look for in Fated Mates. I don't mind the trope as long as there's that discovery and, like I said, a little bit of clash between the hero and the heroine.
Yeah, the courtship. You know, don't skip the courtship.
No, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think I'm done. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a few follow-ups. So back to the wine discussion. What is your favorite kind of wine?
At least 13% alcohol.
Not what I was expecting.
They're like, yeah, she's a real lush. No, I'm actually not that bad. I stick with the cheap stuff, Sutter Home Pinot Grigio. One small bottle of those, and woo, words for days.
Do you prefer a red or a white?
White. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like sweet. I don't like dry wine. So my favorite is actually Barefoot brand Moscato.
Ooh, I'm gonna try that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're local or if they're regional. I have a child on the stairs. Hang on a second.
I just heard my 3-year-old shriek downstairs too.
But I have one last question. You mentioned that you speak to your audience or you take feedback. How do you interact with your fans? Is it specifically reading reviews and you move forward from there? Do you have a fan group? Do people email you?
I've subtly steered them away from emailing me. But I do have a fan group on Facebook, and I talk to them and get feedback. I call my beta readers, my ARC readers from there, and I talk to them about the things they do and do not like. And yeah, I read reviews with a critical eye. if I read one more review about she needs an editor, yeah, I had 8 rounds of editing. Thank you. Oh,
right. I think regardless of how much you've edited that book, you're always going to find people that think that there is an error. And I actually took a class on how to be a professional editor, and they were basically said there are so many rules that contradict each other on like comma usage and whatnot, that as long as you're consistent through the whole book, that's the key. Not what manual of style you chose, because every publishing house has their own preference for editing. It's that it's consistent, but you can't lecture a reader on your manual style choices. So anyway, I think you'd understand. So why don't you tell everybody where we can find you?
I'm on Facebook. And probably if you Google my name, not Google my name, but search my name on Facebook, Emma Alisyn, Alisyn. Yeah, Alisyn. And my website's emmaalisyn.com. But I talk a lot on my personal profile, cuss a lot.
Sentence enhancers, that's what I like to call them.
Exactly.
And so following our previous tradition, you did agree to do a giveaway on, you said it was Stone Prince was the 3rd book in your Warriors of Stone series?
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing an ebook giveaway. As we normally do, all you have to do is make a comment on our blog post for episode number 58. You do have to go to our website, which is focusonfantasyromance.wordpress.com. Ask Emma a question about almost anything. Try to keep it book related, not too personal. We'll leave it open for 30 days, so January 23rd we will close it, and if you've made a comment, you'll be entered to randomly win 1 ebook copy. So, excuse me. Sorry, I'm still recovering from that cold. Thank you for joining us, Emma.
Thank you.
Listeners, if you like the podcast, please like, comment, and share. This has been episode number 58. Good night.
Good night.